Hey Coach, Cam here from Training Talk. We help endurance coaches get better results for their businesses and their clients. Welcome to this week's episode of Endurance Coaching Business. This week we're going to talk a little bit about something a little bit different to normal. So I know I talk a lot about scalable products and services that you should be using in your endurance coaching business so you don't hit that revenue ceiling that you'll inevitably get to if you're just doing one-on-one coaching. But I've never really condensed that down and into a practical form where you might be able to figure out, okay, so Cam's always talking about these different products and services, but how much revenue should I expect to get from them, and how should my total revenue, be a mix of these different products and services? So I've created something simple. I'm calling it the six-figure coaching business framework. So I've got a cool little calculator. So if you don't want to listen to this whole thing, link in the show notes or in the description if you're watching the video to this blog where you can go and calculate how you might make up your coaching revenue, play with the numbers and see how that might work. But anyway, so I got this idea actually. So I want to plug Jill Coleman. So she's an entrepreneur and fitness business coach. One of my clients actually is in her coaching groups. So I've actually been exposed to her for a long time. So she gives similar business advice that I give, but for not specifically for endurance coaching, but for health and wellness entrepreneurs. So she's a really smart lady, so it's worth following. Like, she doesn't give specific advice for endurance coaches, but a lot of the advice that she gives is really useful for anyone in the fitness industry and trying to do business online. So I'll link in the show notes to Jill's stuff. So I know you see a lot of stuff saying the six-figure this and the six-figure that as a way of getting you to read something, thinking that it's going to be a quick and easy way to get to six figures in your business. This isn't that at all. This is for long-term growth. So this is there's no quick wins, easy way to get to 100K in revenue. This is just a framework for your long-term strategy. So let's get that out of the way. So why am I using 100K or six figures? Well, it's a nice round number for one. Two, it's a good milestone to get to, because it's around that number where you would begin to think that you could almost be better off financially running your own business versus working for someone else, having a job. So you might be below that currently or above that. It doesn't really matter. That's just a good milestone and a good starting point. So this framework's not an exact science. All of these numbers are just based on my experience working with coaches, but also with some inspiration from Jill, as I mentioned earlier. So first part of this, I'm going to step through these product types. So the three products we got types are one-on-one customized coaching, group coaching programs that you might run 3 to 4 times a year, and evergreen coaching programs which your clients can sign up to at any time and get access to training plans and resources and stuff like that. So first part, I'm going to go through each of those briefly, talk about why they're good for your business, and then how you might implement them. And then the second part of this episode, I'm going to break your total revenue up using 100K as that example, so we can figure out how much of that 100K these different products and services will make up, and how that will grow, how that may grow over time in a scalable way. So let's hit the first one, one-on-one customized coaching. So as an endurance coach, you're likely already an expert at this. You probably started your business like this, and for a lot of you, this is probably the only thing that you're currently doing successfully. So, I'm definitely not against one-on-one coaching. I think it's core to any coaching business and essential, actually, because it helps. It's that first point where you can prove that you are a good coach, that you can get results for your clients. So some coaches try and jump into endurance coaching and then they just want to jump on these in scalable products like group coaching or training plans, but they haven't proven themselves, they haven't built up trust with their clients to show that they can actually get results. So one-on-one coaching will always be your core, but the trouble with one-on-one coaching, it's not scalable. So at some point you're gonna reach saturation where you literally don't have time to take on any more clients before the quality of your service really starts to deteriorate. So probably arguably, but based on my experience working with hundreds of coaches over the last decade or so, starts to break down around 30 clients. Maybe less, maybe more. It totally depends on your level of service, how much time you put into each client. But around about the 30 region mark is a good guideline. So that's why it's crucial to diversify your product offerings. So if you want a business that will continue to grow over time, then you need to diversify your products beyond one-on-one coaching, but always keep it as the core. So the next one is group coaching programs. So this is way more scalable. It's got a lot more potential for growth. Like when you get started, you won't be getting quickly as much revenue because each group coaching program you sell will be for a lot less money than your one-on-one, but it has a lot more potential to grow over time. So so what do I mean by group coaching? Basically, you'll coach a group of athletes through a set time period, set start and end dates, and you might run these coaching cohorts, I like to call them, 3 to 4 times per year. So typically your program should cater for clients with similar goals, experience levels, or similar goals. So similar experience levels or similar goals. So there's a specific target that you're trying to get to for all of these clients in the group through that period. So this coaching initially might be quite a small part of your revenue, but should grow over time as you continue to scale it. So because there's no one-on-one aspect of this coaching, so every new client doesn't take up a lot more of your time and adds very little to your expenses. So the more clients you get, the more profitable this model becomes. A few things to think about to create successful group coaching programs. Determine the target audience and a program focus. So it needs to be focused. So you might focus on something like beginner runners or beginner triathletes or ultra endurance athletes. So you can focus on the type of client or you can focus on the goal. But it's important to have that set goal or focus for the program so people know that it's for them. So then you want to develop a structured, progressive training plan that accommodates for the needs of the group. So again, that goes back to the specifics. And then a part of it, you want to offer regular group check-ins, interactive sessions like webinars or group Zoom calls, some sort of online community like a Facebook group or something like that. You really want to foster that sense of community and support. So the interaction continues to happen with the group. And you want to provide supplemental resources as well, such as nutrition guides, workout videos, mental skills training, materials, all that sort of thing that people need when they're not getting one-on-one coached. So having access to those means that they can sort of look after themselves with your guidance over the group. And you may not know what these things need to be up front. So that's why I always talk about don't assume that you need to have 100 different resources before you launch your group programs. Launch your group programs with the training plan with a few resources. And as you iterate through them, you'll figure out what the commonly asked questions are, what things you need to add, and you can do that in the next running of your program. So just a quick plug for our software, Training Tilt. So we've brought all these features into Training Tilt to make it quick and easy to deliver group coaching programs. And I'll put the link to my post on group coaching specifically in the show notes or in the description if you want to read more about that. So you can basically cater for group coaching programs all within one platform in Training Tilt. So the next one is evergreen coaching programs. So that's different to group coaching because with this one, it's continuously running. So people can sign up and pay at any time and then pick up the training plans. People aren't doing it as a group. There's no set beginning and end dates. That's why they're called evergreen programs. They just keep running over and over again. So this will also in the future make up a big part of your revenue, because again, like group coaching, the more clients you get on board, it doesn't really cost you any more for each extra client. So the more and more you get, they become all profit. So these are great for on and off ramp for your one-on-one coaching. So often, your one-on-one clients want to stop their one-on-one coaching either temporarily or permanently. So these evergreen coaching programs are great products to move these people onto if they don't want one-on-one coaching anymore. If you don't have these sorts of things, then you'll lose them as clients completely, and then you won't get any revenue from them as well. And then they might go off somewhere else, find a coaching program with another coach, and then when they come back to one-on-one coaching, they might go with them. So it's also good for new people coming on board. So a lot of people don't have the confidence to get one-on-one coach because they don't think that they're ready. They're either embarrassed or they just want to find their feet first. And group coaching might be a little bit of a stretch for them as well. They might just want to find their feet on their own. So for brand new people to the sport, evergreen coaching programs is also a great product. So a few points to make successful evergreen coaching programs. You want to create a variety of self-paced courses or training plans to cater for a whole bunch of experience levels and race distances. Again, don't do all of this at once, but your long-term goal would be to have varied training plans, etc. Because unlike group coaching, the clients here aren't going to have a shared focus. They'll have all sorts of different goals. So when you first get started, sure, always advise that you find a bit of a niche, be really specific goals for your various training programs and things inside this. But long term, you might want to add a few more things. And then again, you just want to you can include all of the resources that you've included for your group coaching, because they're also useful as well. Another plug for Training Tilt. So it's really easy to set up evergreen coaching programs in Training Tilt. Basically, just create a membership plan where you can take payments recurring, so monthly or weekly, but you can also take one-off payments and give limited access, like a fixed time period, so you can give them 12 weeks access to the platform for a fixed price. So that's all available out of the box in Training Talk, which you can't do with any other of the coaching platforms out there. All right, so we're on to the next part of the episode now. So how we might break all of these products down and how they might make up your revenue over time. So I would suggest having a good look at this, going over to the blog and having a good read through this. But let's just take a look at some percentage numbers over 5 years. So if you're watching the video, you'll be able to see the table, but I will talk through it as well. So year one, we're talking about that 100K, so that 6-figure level. So from one-on-one coaching, you might get 60s, let's say around 60%. Again, these are just a starting point. Yours will be different, and I'll show you the calculator in a second that will help you figure out these for your own. But let's just say 60% feels like a good number for one-on-one coaching in your first year of, not your first year of business, I'm talking about your first year going forward using this framework. So you might get 60% from one-on-one coaching, so that's 60K. You might get 25% from group coaching programs, 25K. Another reason why I picked 100K, very easy to work out percentages in dollar figures. And evergreen programs might be slightly less, so 15. So year one, 60% from one-on-one coaching, 25 from group programs, and 15 from evergreen programs. So then year two of running this framework, you might get up to 130K, 30% growth. So then typically, because your 60% of the revenue might be at your ceiling anyway, or just under, that becomes a much less of a percentage of your overall revenue. So it's still 60K. So in year 2, we're earning $130,000, but that's only 45. But your one-on-one coaching is only 45% of that, but it's still 60K. Same dollar figure, lower percentage. Then now we've got 30% from group programs, so an increase in percentage of that and an increase in dollar number, so 40,000. And then 25%, which is 30,000 for evergreen programs. Year 3, we're going to go up to 160,000. We've got 30% now. So we went down from 60 to 45 to 30% of your one-on-one coaching. And we've dropped that down from 60K to 50K because now that you are earning a lot more money from your more scalable products, you don't need to work so hard on your one-on-one coaching. You can be a little bit more picky about what clients you coach. And now our group programs has jumped up to 40% and our evergreen programs is now 30%. And now I've got some modest growth over year 4 and 5. And if we're talking about our percentages, our one-on-one coaching comes down again. So we've gone 60%, 45%, 30%, and now we're down at 27%. So now it's only less than a third of your overall revenue is your one-on-one coaching, but we're still at that absolute number of 50,000. And then we've got 42 from evergreen, 42 from group programs, and 31% from evergreen programs. Now, year 5, we've doubled our revenue, but our one-on-one coaching revenues actually come down. So that's still sitting at 50,000, but it's only 24%. Now we're up to 43% of group programs and 33% of evergreen programs. So as we can see, our group coaching revenue can't really grow much more beyond that, but the other 2 revenue streams, group programs and evergreen programs, can continue to grow without having any constraints on the number of people that you can service. I mean, sure, there's going to be a number where you won't be able to grow, you'll hit a plateau, but that's not due to the non-scalable nature of the products and services. That's due to the market. But one-on-one coaching, you're limited by your own time, not the market. All right, so here's this data on a chart again. This just shows what I was talking through if you're listening to the podcast episode. And here is this cool calculator I created based on this framework. So if you're listening or watching, definitely go to the blog and have a play around with this calculator. So I'll talk you through it quickly. I'll do my best to make it make sense if you're just listening to the audio. We've got 3 boxes to enter your values. So we've got, for customized coaching, we've got the number of clients and then the price per month. So then if you've got 20 clients, price is $250 a month. That's $60K a year. Now group coaching. So we've got number of clients per group, and I've got 50 in there. The one-off price per program, I've got 199 in there. And the number of programs you run per year. So I've got 3 in there at the moment. So you can play with these numbers. So if you say, okay, I got 50 clients, 199, 3 per year, that's around 30K. But if I want to play this, I'll say, well, what if I do 4 of those a year? So that's almost 40K now. So that jumps you up to 110,000 even in your revenue. Or you can say, okay, I want to play with this pricing. So instead of it being 199, I make it 250. But instead of 30K, it's 37,500. So this is just a great way to be able to play with these numbers for your own business. Because like I'm saying, these are just starting points. This is not going to be exactly how you work it out. And this calculator will allow you to figure it out for yourself, for your own goals, for the way you want to run your business, for your expectations, what you think is possible. And then the last one is evergreen programs. And there's a cool option here. So by default, it's set to 50 clients paying monthly, and they're paying $19 a month. So obviously this evergreen programs one is going to be cheaper than the group coaching and a lot cheaper than the customized coaching. So you can say, okay, what if I have 60 of these clients a year? and then that jumps up from 11 to about 13k. But then you can also change this to a one-off price point. So you might not want to do monthly ones. You might want to do like 12 weeks for $199 or something like that. So then you can calculate it separately. So now it doesn't calculate it per month. Change the price point, see how all of that works out. At the bottom of the calculator here, you've got the overall total revenue, and then you've got the revenue from one-on-one customized coaching, revenue from however many number of group coaching programs you're doing per year, and the revenue from your evergreen coaching program. So you've got the dollar figure and the percentage. So definitely come and have a play with this calculator. It's at the bottom of the blog. So link to the blogs in the show notes or in the description, and you can just come down and calculate that. And feel free to come back at any time, and please share it with anyone who you think it might be useful for. So, in conclusion, to build a successful endurance coaching business that gets to 100k but can continue to go beyond, you need to focus on offering a mix of one-on-one coaching, group coaching programs, and evergreen coaching programs. And by doing so, you not only cater for a diverse range of clients and establish yourself as an expert in the field, but you're also creating a scalable, profitable business. But remember, your one-on-one coaching success is the foundation that will enable your other products to thrive as you expand your offerings and grow your revenue over time. But you cannot solely rely on one-on-one coaching if you want your business to continue to grow. So here at Training Talk, we've got all the tools that you need to implement these three products. And I'd love you to give it a try. If you're not a customer already, just head over to Training Tilt and check out our pricing there and sign up for a free trial and give it a go. And as always, if you've got any questions, hit me up. Definitely let me know if this helps. And also, if you've had a play with the calculator, let me know how you go. But until then, thanks again for watching or listening, and we'll catch you again next week.